This is the third part of this series on answers to ISC 2024 board examination question. In section B, a student has to answer 7 questions with 2 internal choices. Each question carries 4 marks. Marks are distributed between the 2 subdivisions. I have given questions answers along with the distribution of marks. Now the answers. First question. Milk is used for making curd, sweets and chocolates. What type of demand does milk have? Give a reason. Demand for milk is a composite demand because milk is used for making curd, sweets and chocolates. Goods with multiple uses have composite demand. For example, the demand for electricity is composite because it can be put to several uses like lighting, cooking, washing, operating fans, air conditioners, machines, locomotives, two-wheelers, four-wheelers, etc. Second question. Figures A, B and C given below represent different types of demand curves. What kind of good does each of these demand curves represent? Give a reason for each of these curves. Take the graph A. In this case, good X is a necessary good. The income demand curve slopes moderately upward initially and then steeply with increase in income. In other words, initially income demand for good X is relatively elastic and finally it becomes relatively inelastic. For this reason, good X must be a necessary good. Take graph B. In this case, good X is a substitute for good Y. Along the Y-axis, price of good Y is measured. Along the X-axis, quantity demanded of good X is measured. The upward sloping cross demand curve shows that as the price of good Y increases, consumers buy more of good X by substituting it for good Y. Take the graph C. In this case, good X is a complementary to good Y. The cross demand curve of good X slopes downward. Since good X is to be consumed along with good Y, as the price of good Y falls, consumers not only buy more of good Y but also good X. Third question. The huge production of onion and lack of storage facilities have caused a continuous fall in its price. This may adversely affect the production of onion in the subsequent year. With the help of a diagram, briefly explain the measure that the government should adopt to combat this situation. The measures that a government should adopt to combat this situation are: 1. Government must adopt floor pricing. 2. Government must buy the surplus onion with good storage facilities. Look at this graph. At the market determined price P1, farmers were able to sell only M2 units of onion. Onion is a perishable good. Farmers were unable to store the unsold part of it and wait for a remunerative price to prevail in the market. In the subsequent years, they produce less because market determined price P1 is not remunerative enough for the farmers. If this is allowed to continue, it will lead to a big social and economic problem. Then the government must come forward to protect the interest of the farmers by adopting a policy of floor pricing. Floor pricing is a legally fixed minimum price by the government at which the traders must buy the goods from the producers. It is normally higher than the market determined price and remunerative to the producers. The onion traders can buy onion only at this price from the farmers. Government fixes P2 price. At this price, the farmers produce M3 units of onion, but traders are willing to buy M1 units. There arises an excess demand condition to the extent of AB. The government must come forward to buy this surplus and protect the interest of the farmers. Fourth question. Draw and explain the average fixed cost curve. The shape of the average fixed cost curve is rectangular hyperbola. The area under the curve represents the total cost. When output is 20 units, the average fixed cost is 10 rupees. Total cost is 20 into 10, 200 rupees. Similarly, when the output is 40 units, the average fixed cost is 5 rupees. The total cost is 5 into 40, 200 rupees. As output increases, the fixed cost per head or average fixed cost falls because total cost is evenly distributed on each unit of output. The lower tail of the curve will move towards x-axis, but it will never touch the x-axis. This is because total cost and output are positive values and never become zero or negative. Fifth question. With the help of a diagram, explain the relationship between average product and total product under the law of variable proportions. First relation. If a ray is drawn from the origin, it becomes a tangent to the total product curve at point A. This is the only ray possesses this character. All other rays drawn from the origin will either cut the total product curve or lie away from the total product curve. Corresponding to that point, average product curve reaches its maximum point. It is shown by the point B. In this segment of the total product curve and the average product curve, law of increasing returns operate. Second relation. Beyond point A on the total product curve, to the right up to the maximum point of total product curve, law of diminishing returns operates. Third relation. Exactly at point A on the total product curve and B on the average product curve, the law of constant returns operate. Fourth relation. Beyond the maximum point of total product curve, that is point C, the law of negative returns operates. But total product and average product remain positive. Fifth relation. Total product and average product are positive quantities. So, though they move towards the x-axis, they will never touch the x-axis. Our discussion ends here. We shall meet in the next session.